Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly meal segment. I hope this video find everyone doing well and in good spirits. And here in Alabama, we got some nice weather this morning. Guys, let me give you a little preliminaries as to what's going on at May's Happy Table. And then I'm going to share the meal that we are having with you today, and then I'm going to end this video. I think I'll start doing my little chit-chatting and stuff ahead of time, guys. So I don't know which way it's going to work. It's just kind of up in air, but I am going to try it so I can go ahead on and end the meal, and then Tuck can get the video up. So guys, the first thing I want to tell you guys is that you know, I had told you guys in my last video that we was having lots of problems with our services and stuff. The wires or lines or whatever go to our internet, even our electricity had gotten cut, and it was just throwing everything off. And I did not do a video during that time. And because every day I was planning to do one, it was a new situation. So I was like, oh no, I'm a little too old to be kind of stressing over I done planned this, and now this done happen. So that all the planning I did for whatever it was gonna be, it was just thrown off course. But guys, we know that's life. And I haven't gotten old enough to know that it is life, and I do not sweat it, guys. Because whatever I have always in my life, whatever I have did, I always have strived to do my best, because that was the way I was raised. From a little girl on up, my parents, my grandparents, and any elders that was a part of my life, they always told us to do your best. Don't have to do anything. So if you got that, my mama like, if you gonna have do it, don't do it at all. Simply because she was gonna make you redo it. And if you want to keep up an attitude, you know, back then we didn't know nothing about. Well, I didn't in our family. What my mom and dad said, grandparents or whatever, that was what we respect. All of this here catching the attitude and all that kind of stuff, we didn't know nothing about it. We definitely hadn't really seen it on the television, and we didn't even listen to radio now. So that's the reason I know things that they put out in life can really influence you in a good way or a bad way. Because I know, I'm going to tell you a little story. When Brittany, she was probably around about 7, when she seen the movie, I think I was watching Dennis the Menace. You know, I always have loved the older shows and movies that was like in my time. And so she watched Dennis the Menace with me, got a big kick out of it. And so guys, that night, when I, you know, did her bath water, and she had told me, she said, because she had sensitive skin, so I really didn't do the bubble bath and stuff with her, but I had a kind that I could use. And she was like, Mama, put me lots of bubbles in my bath tonight. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to put it. She said, Mama, I need a lot of them so they be filling up the tub, and that you can barely see, just only my head will be sticking out. I said, okay. I didn't know what she was doing it, but it wasn't no, it wasn't no big deal to me. That's the way I raised my kids. When they did and said stuff that just wasn't a big deal, we did not make it a big deal. And so I did it. I, ran the water and just kept splashing in the water so she could have lots of suds. So I put her, she was so excited about her bath time, she went on in there and I put her in the bathtub like I normally do, and I go back and do something else that I need to do for the night to settle down for the night. And then I'll leave her in the bathtub probably about 30 minutes normally, and then I would go out and get her. I said, Britt, you ready to get out the tub? And she said no, and she said about no 2 or 3 times. So I kept on doing what I was doing, is what Corn could she doing in the bathtub. And so when I knew it was, she didn't have another option to get out the bathtub, I went in there, and just like on Dennis the Menace, when I went busting up in that bathroom, I almost fell. And she laughed, and I said, girl, why you got all this water and stuff splashed all over this floor? And stuff like that. And she was just grinning like a Cheshire cat, just grinning. Mama, I had my bath like Dennis the Menace, and you did just like Mr. Wilson. You almost fell. I was like, Brett, that's not funny. And you done made a big mess in here that I got to clean up, and I could have broke my neck and hurt myself. Then I went in with the lesson. I said, that's television, sweetheart. I said, that's not in real life. Somebody get seriously hurt. I could have bumped my head on something in here. I did one of my mama's numbers. I could have bumped my head in here and all that. I didn't say it could have killed me, but I said I could have been really, really hurt. And she thought it was so funny. And then I said, come on here and get out this tub. She said, wait, Mama, wait. And then I said, girl, you fixing to get out of this tub. And she took her hands up and looked at it, got the suds off of it. She said, I got to see if I got enough wrinkles. I was like, oh my God. But that was one of the little funny things. Brittany, I had fun raising up both of my kids. But she always was doing something that was so funny. So I said, well, whether you got enough wrinkles or not, it's time to get out this tub. And you will not be doing that again. I mean, she had water splashed everything. I mean, all over the place. And I said, what you doing? And then she showed me, before I got out the tub, she was showing me how she was going round and round. She might have called it something, just from the to the foot to the head of the bathtub. But I tell you, if she didn't have almost a little shallow river there in that bathtub, I'll tell you. But anyway, guys, that was just something funny that I wanted to share with you guys. I really don't know how I got there, why I went there. Because I was just going to give you guys a little update on what's going on in the fall, in our fall planning and in our fall garden. And then I'm going to end the video because I don't have anything else to share with you. Everything is going good so far. We made some changes as to how we was going, area we was going to plant stuff in this time. And normally plants the turnips and the mustards. And I would just put a small amount in a little old wash tub that I had, so I could go out there and harvest those myself. But after I see that little creepy crawl out there, and then I had got a little, got a little careless, as my mama can say. Carelessness always don't get you in trouble. Cause Tuck had told me, he said, Clara, you don't need to be don't you be sticking your hands up in that stuff, the turnips and the mustards and stuff, because he says it's kind of thick. You don't know what's up in there, and you not paying attention or really can't see the greatest. Then you don't really need to be doing it. But we had a little one of those little slithering serpents around here in quite a few years. Now one time they got to coming over here at this house like they was invited. That's when I was doing my flowers and stuff like that. I don't know what that I was putting out there that had them thinking that it was something I was putting out for them. But I just always would just chop it up to when it got real hot and we was doing the watering. I thought about what my my dad and my granddad both used to say. When it get real hot, like July and August and stuff, if you water and stuff and you have some water around your house, snakes can smell that. They used to say they can smell it from a mile away. And back then it used to always be the truth. You leave that water, we had outside faucets and stuff, and Daddy used to keep a pan up under there, so the little drip that was coming down, and it would catch it up. And he had like behind it, he had where he had like a bait did. So, but every time you would look around, you hear somebody snake, and there was a little cane snake or something up in there, up around there. Daddy said, would tell my brother, y'all go out there and keep that water poured out there. Go pour it over somewhere he wanted them to pour it at. He said, cause you know what it costs. You know, these snakes will be coming up to it. It's got hot out here, and they're looking for water, and they'll be coming up to it. So, you know, I knew that when I did my planting and stuff. You know, it had got pretty hot. We had went probably about 3 weeks or better without any rain and stuff. And in the back of my head, as old people say, in the recesses of my mind, I said, look, I got to be careful with this watering out here, because these, you know, it's so dry, these snakes gonna be coming up looking for water. So I was, you know, I sort of kind of had it in my mind, but Tuck was the one found, that rascal and stuff. But I had been going over there, guys, harvesting some of that Swiss chard. I was all up in there, and then I was all up in a second bed that I had, looking and seeing, you know, with the eggplants or whatever, and all that kind of. One time I thought I did see something, and I was saying, "Whoa, snap! Whoa, snap! Oh, snap!" I got to back and bite kind of quickly, cause usually I break and strike out, and the snake don't be got me, but I could be not hurt myself. I don't care nothing for your snakes. You can have them. Anybody love them, want to put them in the house, sleep in the bed, bathtub, or whatever. You can have them, and there's nothing you can tell me about them. If they beneficial, harmless, or whatever, I do not care. I don't like to cohabitate with that mess. I know it's outside. If it stay outside and I stay inside, we'll be fine. If it come inside, I'll move until they tear this house down. Let me stop and get it out of here. And that go for some other little vermix. So guys, let me get on with what I wanted to tell you. So we have some mustards and turnips planted in the raised bed. When I say grow bed, guys, because I always get it mixed up, but that just made my way. When I say that, I'm talking about the raised bed. But the raised bed that I put had the watermelons in, I put the turnips and the mustard over there. And then I had Tuck, I really almost begged him to try, because normally he don't do a second crop. Because I told him you have enough time to do a second crop. But those snap beans that he raised this year was so good, even he had to admit to that. I said, this here is what they supposed to taste like. I said, you got time to plant some more if you want. He said, I don't know, whatever. But he did plant some more. So I don't know if we gonna see, because I told him, this is what I had told him. I said, we're just trying to get a feel as to what and how to do something now. That's the reason I call it my Garden Chronicles. So plant some more, and we did all of this after dog days. Normally after dog days was when my dad and grandparents used to replant something, you know, for a second crop, and it would just do fine. And so I told them to try it. So I haven't went out there to check on how's it doing, Tuck?
It's doing fine. Looking good right now. We just keep the weather like it is, warm and everything. I think we'll get a crop out now.
Yeah, now snap beans, do you know how many days it takes for them to mature, to harvesting and stuff? It's not as many days.
I think it's like 60 to 90 days, isn't it?
I don't know about the 90. I would say probably 60 or less, because look, you know, they coming on pretty good. But
I plant, like you said, I put more snap beans, but I put more okra, planted more okra, planted cabbage and collard greens out there in the area where I had all my snap beans and other stuff this for my summer. So I I got it. Full array of stuff out there if it makes. We'll have another.
Well, I told him I had said I usually may lag around in August till I get to the end of August or whatever. So that was one of the reasons I didn't really bother about doing a weekly meal. And plus we had another line to get cut. When after I said, guys, don't never say what else, what's next or whatever, what else can happen. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. Don't let Satan fool you, because it could always get worse. Well, I was back in the back room, and Tuck was up here in the kitchen area, and he came in and told me, because during that bad weather and stuff, our ring bell got knocked out. So he haven't gotten it back working yet. So it was a knock that came on the door. And he came in and he told me, he said, they done cut the telephone line. And I said, what? I said, I thought they was through with that digging and stuff. This here was after our weekly meal that I told y'all I had all that there situation going on. And I said, what? And then I seen this truck pass by. And I told him, I said, you know what? I didn't even know they had that company here in Ozark anymore. And I don't think he knew it either. That was the first time I seen that truck in years. Had it been you?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Because usually up here at the end of our road, you always would see them guys working on that damn line. But guys, I got a theory as to what happened. When I went up there and told them people that, when I had them calls about how they were just, I wasn't appreciating how they was treating, I am a customer. I was really talking about myself. But if anybody else, because somebody else may be just fine with this here. And I told them with this here internet service that we use, we had everything put in a bundle. And it was during the time that Big C was all around. So me and the guy was sitting out on the porch, because it was a whole big contract and this and that had to be signed and did, and then you had to pay on the spot. Just a whole lot. So anyway, I told that guy, I said, I do not want to bundle anything if it's going to mess with my landline. Because Tuck had already told me all that telephone stuff is wireless now. And I said, well, I can do without the wireless. I said, whatever you're going to do with the internet, just let that be with the internet, and if you want to get cable up in there. But I said, I want my telephone to stay separate, because when you have a landline, guys, when your electricity and stuff go out, and if you got it on this wireless stuff now, I see all of that's gonna go out. So I believe in the landline. I know everybody done went to your sales and stuff like that. Help yourself. Maybe I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about myself now. I didn't want no parts of that. But I found out somebody told some fibs in there. When they did that major cut, and my whole neighborhood was just filled with all kind of working trucks, utility trucks and stuff like that. When they cut that internet line, I lost telephone service. My cordless and my landline. One day, guys, I'm going to show you my landline. Because I don't even know if they make those kind of phones anymore. Mostly they just make cordless phones. Somebody told me that. I think when my sister kept saying that all her phones and stuff were cordless. So anyway, guys, after I told the guy, because the guy I was talking to on the phone, he didn't even know what I was talking about a landline. I said, Lord help you, Jesus. And I told him, and then I explained it to the young man. I said, landline is that telephone line that is, it's by itself. You have, because they don't have poles over here, they have underground stuff like that. And I said, that telephone line is by itself. It's not, you can put a cordless phone on that, but it's, it's not hooked up to anything else. So he said, he didn't know, he really didn't know anything about it, but he didn't want us to know he didn't know what he was talking about. And then now, all of a sudden, this telephone truck that we hadn't seen in 10 years shows up over in the neighborhood. because that phone did not work when they got everything else back on. That phone didn't work. And I did mention to him, you remember I mentioned to him that I have a contract saying that, you know, that my landline is not in there. And I said, well, I may have to look up my contract. And either somebody had lied or whatever. But this telephone truck came over in the neighborhood, and I got landline service back. So much for that, guys. And I done told you about the garden. So let me tell you what we got on the menu for today. Guys, we got some, I got some sauteed whole green beans, and I got, you know, different little seasoning in it. I'm gonna have to do a video showing y'all how I do these beans, because they are absolutely delicious. And then I got the yellow rice, and this is a new one for you guys today. I don't think, have I ever did a video showing them this here and saying that I was gonna do it for?
I don't believe so, but
They'll let me know, because a lot of the ones that regularly watch me, they'll know, maybe you done did that before. I don't know, because every time I would fix this, and I don't fix it that often, and it's one of my son's favorite. And I would say, guys, I should have did a video and showed the guys how to do this, because this is a delicious chicken. But see, for one thing, I don't buy chicken breasts that often. But this is made out of chicken breast. But this sauce, I'm not going to put out the ingredients on it now, because I'm going to put up a video. And then I know we got other little ears be here and stuff. And, you know, what y'all hit me on? I've been paying attention ever since I was a little girl. I see what you're saying. It's so true. I see what you're saying, and I appreciate you guys to the highest hitting me, because I can't, you know, I watch certain things on the internet, but I don't be watching this and that, and I know dishonesty is all in the world. I am, you know, I'm no child. But anyway, it got that sauce on it. Like I said, I will be doing this recipe, because I would love to share this combination of the sauce that I have on this rice. It's unbelievable. I learned how to prepare this years ago, and it always have been you know, a special dish in this house, especially when my son was growing up. And then, guys, we got the Sister Sugar rolls. And listen, guys, if the Lord's willing, and if the tide don't ride, I think that's the way they say it, I'm going to try to do a dessert video, what you guys had requested of me to do the end of this week. That's the reason I don't have any other dessert out here, because I want to do a video on it. So what I have over there for dessert is some delicious bakery cookies from my favorite store, guys, Publix. And they done cut it down a size, because usually when we get the big container of it, it's you know, to me it's not a bad price, but we don't be ate the cookies. And then when you get these bakery cookies and stuff like that, they're so much better, just like fresh. So I think those are some sugar and some chocolate chips right there. Normally I get the one that we have the oatmeal, and they have some M&M's pushed off up in it, and oatmeal raisin, which is one of my favorite cookies, and sugar cookies and all. And we didn't want that big batch, so this was they done start with a little smaller container, and it was just those. You can either get the chocolate chips, or either you can get the sugar cookies, and either this here was assorted. So, and it's only like $3, and the cookies are, oh, they delicious. Okay, guys, I'm back. The video cut off, and that's something that I haven't been having to do in a while, and that's the reason I be trying to talk so fast. I talk fast anyway, but I do be trying to hurry, and so we won't have to go through all that cutting off and this and that. So, but let me back up a minute. I think I forgot to tell you that that this is a chicken breast. I didn't tell them about the chicken breast. I did, because I told them I didn't eat chicken breast that often. Is it still shaking?
Go ahead.
Guys, look over there, Chuck shaking the thing. I got to get some new equipment to my camera and stuff. So that's reason if you the past couple of videos, if you've been doing a little shaking, we're going to get that corrected after a while. But that's a chicken breast, and with that, like I say, with that wonderful sauce all over it. It's not a gravy, that's a sauce. And it is absolutely delicious. And we have some rolls, some Sister Shooter rolls, which I love. They're dinner yeast rolls, and they can make you mess yourself up, guys. I eat several of those, so I just make sure I limit the amount that I bake at a time. And then, guys, for our beverage, we have some sweet tea, and that's it. I think I covered everything, guys. So,
So yep, you did. That's it.
So guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Look for my video coming up soon. And thank you guys for giving me the thumbs up that y'all have been giving me, supporting me. And you always, you know guys, ever since May been on this app. Oh, is that what you call YouTube?
Yes, it's the app.
Well, I'm learning a lot of stuff. I have always enjoyed my comments. Even since I've gotten to the, I've grown in this journey. I don't have the time to, reply to them like I used to. But I still try to get around to it. I know they probably say, why is this lady sending me this here, long reply like, and, because most everybody say just hard it, just hard. I said some of these comments, these wonderful comments, these people be leaving and stuff, and fun comments and stuff, and you can learn a lot in them. I just can't just hard that. And so, but sometimes I have to. If I got a lot going on or whatever, and it's not anything important, I don't do it and I don't worry about it. Simply because I always tell you guys, I always have told you guys, you can email me if you have any questions about what's going on with the recipe, or you want to ask something about the video I shared, simply because I do not leave the recipe down in the comment section. I mean in the description section. Simply because I don't do all this stuff myself, and that's just very, very extra work. And when I try to do my videos, I try to go in a way that you can understand it. I think if you got a video and then a recipe and all that, that's a lot. You can, you guys got to do some part of it. Write it down, or I try to put everything, all the ingredients first so you can see it. But anyway, I don't do recipes in the description area. For any of you new guys that have started with me, guys, I have had you to drop me emails and say they would like the written recipe. I don't do the written recipe. I know it's a gazillion other ones do, but I don't do it. So that's all I got to offer for that. So guys, like I say, enjoy the rest of your week. Be blessed. And we're having some nice weather down here today, and I'm going to be working on, I got a couple of other vegetables that I'm going to be adding to other than what I normally plant. And I'll share that with you guys when I get ready to do my first garden update. So you guys be blessed. Leave me a comment as to whatever you want to say. I'm leaving it open. But remember this, guys. Use your think positive. Use your common sense. And may love you guys. And bye.
Bye, you guys.
See you in my next video.